Do the same on here. We're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there's a load of writing on there. I hope that's.
When you receive certain, etc. Are we live? Are we live
We're
on there?
live.
Evening.
Evening. The mic is working. We're
Can you
here.
hear?
Only 4 minutes late, which
Wow. Be a record.
I think it's quite good. We're improving. I mean, there's still time, guys. We've got a whole hour here.
Mics aren't on. Camera's not on.
See in the chat, girls, can't hear you. Just hear a load of speaker signals.
We've got some. And if you're joining us on TikTok tonight, this is our first time going live on TikTok as well as on YouTube. You can come over to YouTube. We can't monitor the chat on TikTok, I'm afraid, but we can monitor the chat on our YouTube channel, which is A Different Podcast Official.
Come over there if you want to get involved in the chat. We want to hear your opinion. Today is a very strange one. It's not a regular ADHD, autistic, straight topic. We're covering stuff that's caught my eye in the past week, but the way we discuss things,
And
very ADHD.
we have True Vibes Clothing in the chat as well. Hey!
Shout out True Vibes Clothing. If you've seen Lindsay's most recent post of theirs that you've shared with us, last
Yes.
week she wore the hoodie.
I did.
The Strong is the New Pretty hoodie, which is gorgeous. We are still waiting for the Lucky Cat restock.
Yes.
I'm so glad that you came to chat True Vibes Clothing, and I can't wait to talk to you. We'll be having a fun interview style hangout day, I'm hoping.
I've got some dates in the next couple of days. It's very good.
I really want to know how do you go about starting a clothing line? It's just like it fascinates me so much. And then to hear of a fellow neurodivergent doing these, I want to hear about it all. And I'm sure you guys do too. Today is the 10th of April, and it just makes me realize that time is going by way too fast.
I know, April already. How is that possible?
It's like it's already been Easter, and it's going to be summer soon.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
My mum was saying the other day, she was like, it's going to be the longest day of the year soon. What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Okay. Being asked to go live with somebody else.
Peace and love. No, thank you.
Yeah. Watching on TikTok. We are also live on YouTube. So you can come over to YouTube, A Different Podcast Official, where we can monitor the chat. But unfortunately, we can't monitor the chat on our TikTok as well.
I'm amazed at this. Sorry that you can't really see what we're looking at. It's the TikTok on Lindsay's phone that I've never seen this side of the platform before. That's quite interesting. People just request like, "Hey, I want to go live with you."
Yeah, there's stitching, if that's the right word, where they take your video and go half an hour. It's a bit more interactive.
Can you do like the NPC game on this? Like the ice cream tastes good. They do that.
I have no idea.
I've always wanted to have a go, but I don't have anything with followers enough that would be doing stuff. But that's quite interesting.
Mean?
You know what? We've got too much to get into today. We'll save that for another episode. If you don't know what ice cream tastes good, that will take up definitely its own episode. But there's a few different things that I wanted to cover. The first thing was, you remember we talked about Gypsy Rose?
Yes.
There's a small update with her, small / pretty big, very interesting. There is Vanderpump Rules, a situation happening on a program that I watch. I know Lindsay doesn't watch it, but within it is a social issue and a good question that I've been racking my brain with. So I'm going to briefly describe that to her and then put it to you guys. How do you feel? Am I right about this? Am I a bit of a judgy? I don't know. I'll go on.
Sounds very juicy.
Definitely. And the last one is JoJo. If you don't know who JoJo Siwa is, you probably live a very fun life. I understand you're not on the internet very much or watching kids' TV, but if you're around my age or younger, you probably know a child or you yourself at one point had a JoJo bow. And
I remember everyone talking about these JoJo bows.
JoJo
I didn't
bows.
even know that JoJo was a person, though, if you see what I mean. I just thought a JoJo bow was just, I don't know, the brand name. But I suppose it is. I just didn't know it was an actual person.
Love this. It's so fun. I know there's going to be people watching that are just like, it's JoJo. But I love that Lindsay is so far separated from this. I'm
Yeah.
almost jealous sometimes. I'm like, I wish this stuff wasn't taking up my brain.
I've got no on in the like kind of what's it called? I've written it in my diary that we were doing. Is it pop culture?
Pop culture,
Yeah.
relevant,
Yeah.
relevant. As I've got BuzzFeed up, I'm like, yeah, that's relevant. It's fine. Um, yeah, so everyone remembers her, if you do know her, as the child star that she is. She's changed her look. She's had a new revamp, like most people do when they grow up from child stardom. They have that like rebellious stage. I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember Miley
Yeah.
Cyrus's. They all kind of seem have to go through it, which is a very weird thing in itself.
I
But
suppose it's almost like you, if you're a child star, you've got to keep it clean, haven't you? Then you hit your teen, so you're naturally going to go, but you're doing it in the limelight. So I
definitely,
definitely went from a nice, sweet child to a horrible teenager. So if I'd been doing that in the limelight,
yeah. And you didn't have some management company that's bothered about how much money you bring in,
yeah,
navigating what that looks
yeah.
like and how you deal with that. But before we get into that, real quickly, you got something to say on the
I
thing?
was just going to say, good evening to Kelly, who's joined us in the chat.
Good evening, Kelly. Oh, an update. Lucky Cat coming soon, coming next week. Thank you, True Vibes Clothing.
Yeah.
I will be ordering that next week. And anyone else that wants to look at their awesome clothing, go to, is it truevibesclothing.com?
I think, but it's True Vibes with a Z. And just to
Yeah.
reiterate, those that are watching us live on TikTok, we are live on YouTube, a different podcast official. You can join us, and then we can talk to you in the chat. Unfortunately, I can't monitor what's going on in the chat box over there.
What we can do is direct you to a way that you can help support us. If you like these videos, you can like, you can subscribe, but you can also, from £1 a month going up to £5, £10, £25, and you get loads of really cool goodies from this. We've really revamped this in the last month, and
We did the first prize draw, didn't we? Not last week, the week before.
yeah, at the end of every month, someone will win like just a fun thing from us on top of what you can get from us on a monthly basis that you pay for. And you can be entered into that from the £1 plan. So if you've got a spare pound or two and you'd like to support us, we provide free information and content, support, advocacy for neurodivergence. So we really appreciate it. It's a very hard time, everyone waiting for their diagnosis and treatment and blah, blah, blah. We're just hoping to kind of fill that gap and provide some neuro-affirming, friendly content. Ugh.
I've literally had 2 messages this week about people how long they're waiting, and asking me, because obviously I decided to go and get officially diagnosed, didn't I? And I'm still waiting. So I have to say to them, like, I'm in the same boat. It's not like I'm one of the lucky ones that
Yeah.
got through.
But you can feel like the frustration and the anger in some of these people's messages, and it's like I understand it.
Yeah.
Don't direct it at me, but I understand it.
Yeah. Join in with the community.
Definitely. So if you go to patreon.com/a different human design/membership, or just go to our page, or if you go to our website,
Yeah.
a different human design.co.uk, you can find all of our free downloads and all the stuff that we offer for free.
And there's loads in there.
There's
Loads
loads.
of benefits.
We've got things to discuss. We need to get on with it. First of all, I forgot to mention this in the intro. Solar eclipse.
Yeah.
It says in the thumbnail, bit of an existential crisis.
What? Well, because you realise it was 1999 when we all viewed. Were you even born then?
Oh, at that point, yes. Yeah, I was
9.
8,
8.
depending on what part of the year it was. So I thought of that, and then I thought, when's the next one? Googled it.
Yeah, 2090.
I will be 98 or dead.
Yeah, no, well, one of my students said, "Oh, when's the next one in the UK?" And I googled it, and I went, "Well, I'll be dead," and they couldn't stop laughing. I think just that shock of like, "What do you mean?"
The first thing I've ever Googled and realised it's going to be happening after us. I know there's certain things like, off in the future, you can like dream of like technological advances that will be there. But to definitively know that there's going to be an event that I'd like to see, and I'm not even. Here's the thing. In my head, I was like, oh, I'm not going to see that. And then I thought, what am I on about? People are going to be living so much longer. There's going to be advances. And normally in a place where I would just crumble and be like, what is my life? What do I do? I'd have left this if it had actually got to me. I'd have just been like, nope, I'm off. thankfully, it gave me a whole new lease for life. I was like, I'm gonna make that.
Yeah, nice.
I'm gonna go and watch it myself with my own eyes,
I love
cataract
that.
eyes. I'm gonna make that. That's gonna be my. And you know what? I always hear about people living longer because they set themselves a target.
Ah, I love it.
So maybe that's mine.
I'm quite a bit older than you. I'm like, what, like 5 or 6 years older than you. So I'd be in my hundreds. So if I'm going to make it, it's going to be a bit more of a miracle.
Like,
I know. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Kat.
if you didn't hear Kat, she said, "If anyone could, it's you, Linz," and she's right.
Determination. Yeah, I believe in reincarnation and living out your karma. So I'll be reborn and doing something, hopefully some really good karma. I'll be reborn as a queen somewhere.
To be fair, wherever your spiritual body may lie, I might just like stuff you and prop you up like Weekend at Barney's and just like Bernie's, sorry, just get you like just a pair of sunglasses on, a sticker up against a bus. Like, you're right, Lynch. Right, yeah. So glad we got to see the clips together, mate. So yeah, I just wanted to share that had a bit of a moment with the solar eclipse that you couldn't even view from this country.
Yeah, gave you a bit of a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Well,
also a good positive one, not one that actually made me spiral.
I don't know if we've got anyone from America watching, but obviously that was where the lucky people got to see it, wasn't it, in the USA? And there was a lot of people freaking out because they'd been warned to get weeks worth of shopping in and petrol, and everyone was like, oh my god, why, what's going to happen? You know, it's just a cover up because something's going to happen.
Nothing can happen without a conspiracy theory. Let's just be honest now. Like anything that happens, it's going to happen.
That's a good idea. We could see if there's a total eclipse elsewhere before there being the one in the UK in 2019. We could have just traveled to watch this one.
I thought it was you were beginning to write Finland. You can travel to Finland, and I was like, oh, when's it going to be? Okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
that is a good point. You're trying to make me like live less longer. I don't know if I appreciate that. I appreciate
the aim. Live long.
I appreciate you giving me an eclipse way sooner than maybe something I won't make. You know, it's all right being like, I'll just quit all my vices and be healthy. I could still get hit by a bus. I could get hit by your bus.
Hopefully not.
Oh, hopefully not. Yeah. How is the bus?
Yeah,
Did I get a bus update?
I'm making some good progress. The over the holidays, I was hoping to have the bed sorted and the railings spray painted black. Neither of those things are finished, but that's not through want of trying. Like on Saturday, everything that could have, you know, if A, being a simple way, B, being the complicated, like if there's a potential of something going wrong, every single task that we did was like going down the long route with it going wrong.
Oh, I know what you mean. I can see like a flow diagram.
Yeah,
where you're like, yes, figured it out. No, go to this one. It's like
that's exactly what it was. So it's like we just need to put these vents on those covers, push the bed up against it, and then we can attach the ends. But the vents for a start didn't fit, so they needed hacksawing down. That was the beginning of the
starting to boil.
Yeah. Screwing at my mum. My mum was like, it's fine. It'll take as long as it takes. We literally are yin and yang, but neither, you know, like when I'm having a moment, she's calm. When she's having a moment, I'm calm. And then, went to push the bed up against them, but the leg on the middle of the bed is right at the vent, right where the vent is at its fattest. So then the bed was like at an angle, which wasn't a problem, but then it meant that the top of the shelf would have to be at an angle, and everything from then on wouldn't be square. So it's just thinking, do you make your life easier now by making sure everything stays square? So my mum was like, I know what we'll do. We'll cut that leg off and we'll move it, but then we're like there under the bed trying to saw a leg off. You know, when you just like, what is life right now? But
I know what you mean.
But we did make progress. We just didn't make as much progress as what was planned. I think that is DIY, right? Anyone that's ever done a DIY project surely knows everything takes longer than what you expect.
I feel like every episode of Grand Designs was them being like, we're going to have this done in 6 months. And then it cuts them like 4 years later. She's had 2 kids. They've got no money left. There's just a pit with water in it. And they're like, it's gone a bit over budget. You're like, every time.
Nothing
We're going to be making it out of a rare straw that comes from Africa. And it's like, yeah, okay. Just make it harder for yourself.
I took work poles, sanded them down, and then my mum was like, "Well, you need to hang them up somewhere, don't you, to spray them?" Which I hadn't even thought about. And so I'd got a tiny little piece of pole that I thought I can test spray that because it's only this small piece. And I was like holding it, and then I was like, actually, yeah, what do I do with it? Like, I don't know. It's just, and then where do you hang it? Because wherever I hang it and I spray, it's going to spray everything else. So I can't hang it anywhere near the bus and end up spraying the bus with metal paint because then it will. Oh, I don't know.
Artistic.
But it's happening.
We're getting there.
And we've been confirmed for a festival. So I'm really hoping that the bus will go to its first festival this year.
Ooh.
If not, we'll be there in a tent anyway. We are going to be there.
Rain or shine, we'll be there, yelling at you through a microphone, whoever will listen.
Positive message for you.
If we don't have the bus, you get one of them, like, you know, the toy ones and, like, wear it. Just have our ads at the top, like, beep, beep,
Yeah.
hello.
Oh, my God. You know how we made that peep thing for the Halloween party?
We're going to repaint it.
Bus one, don't we, where you can be the bus driver or whatever.
And someone, the conductor. Oh, right, okay. I've been trying to think of something to paint on it. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing.
If you like Elsa the cat and the bus driver.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, she's had her kittens, by the way, for those that have been coming to the bus and know the stray cat or have seen it on my TikTok. Stray cat has had her kittens.
It's not just a very stressed woman.
Yeah.
Kittens. I didn't know what it meant until I think like a few years ago.
It's in a book called Goodnight, Mr. Tom. One of the first kind of serious book that I read when I was about 10 or 11.
It's a sad
And,
book.
yeah, really sad. First book to make me cry as well. And yeah, he says about the neighbour is having kittens, and it really gave me the giggles. I think my emotions were high anyway. Couldn't stop laughing.
Just imagine these kids. I know what you mean though, because the saying you like a bag of cats, crazy as a bag of cats.
Yeah.
Make like imagine a
Or a box of frogs. I think
it's
as well,
crazy.
our brains take things so literally.
Yeah.
That when somebody does say these sayings, we automatically visualize it exactly as the saying is,
Exactly.
and that's what makes it so funny.
I'm a visualizer as well. As soon as stuff like that happens, it's in my brain. I can see it.
Yeah. We're being asked what festival the bus is going to. It's Barefoot Festival, and it's a very small one in Leicestershire. It started off at Presswold Hall, just out the back of Loughborough, and I think it's at Cato's Farm, which I think is more Colville way. But excitingly, we will be having the founder of Barefoot Festival on to talk to us. I think we'll be pre-recording though. And she's ADHD as well.
Way the best
So,
people are.
Yeah, we'll be having a conversation with her about ADHD and festivals kind of coming hand in hand.
Yeah.
And how I know that she cold water dips to manage it. So
Cold wide water dip.
yeah, to get out of this because I can wash my hair before I came, and now it's falling out everywhere on my black t-shirt, so I'm getting distracted.
So ADHD.
Yeah.
You're doing this. Also, I washed my hair today. That's a natural progression from what we were just talking about. Yeah, makes sense.
Wednesdays. So now I've got to be such close proximity. I'm like, I better have a shower.
The amount of times I'm like rushing around, then I sit here, I put my arm up to the thing, I'm like, oh God, sorry, Linz. Sit
My
down, window man.
smells my undersense. You know, like how you either highly tuned in or not tuned in. I'm tuned in on my hearing and my vision.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think smell is quite a strong one for me. Actually.
Yeah, it is for Lou as well. So, yeah, let's get on with some reactions. In fact, are we going to shout out the Patreon of the...
God, yeah, I was going to say, I was showing you the Patreon, what you can do.
Yeah, so every week we shout out one of our Patreon members. And this week we are shouting at Dave from Koi Sports. That's KOI, Koi Sports. And he connects all sorts of people. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, he has. Wicked. I wasn't sure if he'd got a website, as it were. But yeah, here we go. Exceptional CSR solutions for exceptional businesses. And he basically connects business people with sporting initiatives. So you can kind of bring to life a sporting initiative here or in a completely different country. So I've had some really interesting people connecting with me on Facebook through this. And we were involved with Dance Sensation as well, weren't we? With special needs dance.
They were brilliant. And
Yeah.
they cry every time.
Yeah. So thank you so much to Dave from Core Sports. He's been one of our Patreon members for pretty much from the start since we launched it. And we really appreciate that support.
Yeah, we love that, dude. Appreciate you. Thank you. And shout out to Patron of the Week. At the end of the month, we'll be shouting out the winner for this month's
Another
giveaway.
draw. Prize
Aw.
draw.
But, right, okay. Let's get into these updates. What time is it?
24 past.
That's actually quite a good time. Right, I'll try and race through them, but not in a like making you uncomfortable kind of way. To the normal ADHD.
And TikTokers, if we've still got people watching us live on TikTok, come over to our YouTube, A Different Podcast Official.
There's about 4 people that want to join you.
You can that want me to go live. I thought I was missing out on live.
One day that could be quite funny.
Yeah.
One time.
A different podcast official. We are on YouTube. We can monitor the chat on there, so get involved with what we're looking at. You can't see our reaction cam.
Yeah,
you can only see us.
I'm blind as hell. I can't see that. It's just
Yeah,
little one.
I don't know what's going on. I think it's people joining.
Oh, hey, welcome. Right. So, no, God, not the outro. You're not getting rid of us yet. Oh, God, we ain't got time for intro. So, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, if you didn't watch our last episode featuring her, it wasn't the last episode, just the last time we talked about her. She was a victim of Munchausen's by proxy under her mum's care, and through planning with an ex-partner of hers, ended up killing her mum. The partner did. She got sent to prison for conspiring, being part of it. And her time very recently, was it the end of last year, came to an end being in prison. She was going to be released. And it started being like she was getting press deals, like she was trying to get deals with like Kim Kardashian, like interviews everywhere. She was like popping off, weren't she? And people,
it was media frenzy.
just because the story was just so graphic and so, yeah, and just the way she carried herself around it. Because one of the things was that she'd met her husband in prison and they were just excited to start their life outside. I'm sorry to announce that unfortunately they have broken up. They are divorcing.
We had this conversation, didn't we, when we covered it? And I was like, it all seemed a little bit like she was in control of it, and he was very quiet and just allowing her to just run him, basically. And I was like, it'd be interesting to see if she ends up abusing him, because she was abused by her mum
Yeah.
the whole life.
I think often we look at it in the way of like they become a victim, therefore they will always be a victim in relationships, and that's not necessarily the truth, right? We know that a narcissist is created by narcissistic parents. You know that it's these things, you can become exactly that just because that's the environment that you were taught.
Yeah,
works.
Yeah, exactly. Like you kind of learn from your experience, and sometimes it's almost like if there's a bully at school in class, whoever they're bullying, I quite often say to them on the quiet, look, they're probably not happy at home. They're probably being bullied at home, and that's why they're coming to school and then bullying other people. It's almost like that outlet.
There was no one just like makes fun out of people and gets joy from that because they're happy.
Yeah, it's a way of making yourself feel better, kind of thing. And she's not really going to have understood what true unconditional love is she? Because her mum basically used her to.
Her views on all this are just going to be so backwards.
Yeah.
I don't know how she navigates that. So yeah, we were interested in how's this relationship going to go. And yeah, at the end of March, 3 months after her release from prison, unfortunately, they announced their separation. And if you were interested in how it went, so she's with another ex now. Apparently, she's moved on.
Oh, God.
But we want to understand from this Ryan, right? Like, what was it like? Like, did you get victimized? Like,
yeah,
I'm wondering.
Yeah.
So, speaking out days after, she announced that the two were splitting, and this Ryan has had something to say for himself. I just want to thank everyone for the support. It's been great. I think it's got music on in the background, so I can't play it. It's been great. I'm just living my life. He says in the video, you'll see what really happened on Lifetime. We were filming a lot, so stay tuned. There is going to be a program that Lifetime have filmed with them where they're going to be talking. It's featuring a lot of it.
Oh my God. And that's the thing, like, it's
New
almost like that.
docuseries.
You can't help but be curious, can you? Even if you thought, oh, I don't want to buy into it. It's like a car crash.
Exactly. You can't not look. And when the whole internet's talking about it, it's like, I'm supposed to just ignore this? Like, because at the end of the day, all of this is a symptom of poor mental health. That if we just addressed people's mental health better, things like this would be reduced to a great deal.
That's definitely the tragic thing, isn't it? We when we covered this story before, it was almost like we had to keep remembering this is people's lives and it's not just entertainment.
Yeah.
Because I kept wanting to laugh and then being like checking myself, like, hold on a minute, this girl,
Yeah.
has been through hell, kind of thing.
The one thing that I remember making me be okay with it in the end is that she's out doing interviews, she's doing this, she wants to be famous, and I'm like, this woman wants to be talked about. So
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I didn't mind us because, like you say, she was quite open. She wasn't saying everyone leave me alone. She was like, yes, then I've got 1 million TikTok followers. Add to it, add to it.
It's like something really brutal happened. So it's just, yeah, it's weird. And maybe the best way to deal with her is to stop paying her attention. I don't know. I ended up reading more into the story, and it's like, it's hard, isn't it? That's why
Yeah.
it became such a big like debate. There is no black and white. It's all nuance. um. So yeah, I just thought that was a fun little update.
Yeah,
Shout out.
definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. So Lifetime, is that the program it's going to be on?
I think that's like a show in America. I'm almost certain, but it'll be available here somewhere or another.
Yeah, should be
Sure.
on Netflix.
I'll watch it and cover it, hopefully. Find as many clips as I can. So yeah, shout out Gypsy. Good luck with your new man. And Ryan, can't wait to hear what your experience was like.
Yeah, I'm very.
Okay, so the second topic that I wanted to cover is based on the storyline of Scandival. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Vanderpump Rules last year featured a very long storyline of two people that have been together for a long time, an affair basically unraveling. And the whole episode, whole season, people are like kind of questioning it. They're a bit close, and the whole time she defends, "No, that's my boyfriend. That's my very close friend. This wouldn't happen."
Oh my God.
Right before they wrap, she found out. She found she got his phone while he was performing on stage, looked at it, and was like, "Huh, I just had that inkling. I need to have a look." Looked at
Woman's
it,
instinct is
yeah.
so right, isn't it?
Saw videos from her friend very recently, going back to a while ago, basically them being inappropriate, having this relationship, and then it just unraveled the lie. He was trying to cover her like the guy that she was sleeping with, her friend's lies, trying to manipulate, control everything to make sure he looked okay coming out of it, and he just did a terrible job.
Oh my goodness.
It was an awful, like, things he was saying, you're like, oh God, guy. He became the most hated man in America for a good week. To some people still. And I remember coming into this first new season, Vanderpump Rules has started back again. It's about 6 or 7 episodes in. And before it started, I'm seeing people post with Sandoval, posting with this guy. And I'm like, what do you mean? You've just forgiven him? After everything that he's done, we hated him. The last
Yeah.
episode was literally just everyone laughing at him and tearing into him. Like, it's the point of like bullying. And now we're going to be like, it makes me feel bad. It's like when you tell a mate about like your awful boyfriend, you're like, I'm loving him. And then the next week you're like back together and you're like, oh, but you told me all that awful stuff about him. Do that because then I've got an opinion. What has happened since? So the girl that was cheated on.
Yeah.
But I'm so sorry if I'm describing this to people that already know that what I'm on about.
Yeah, I'm completely. I have no idea. So this is filling in the gaps for me.
Yeah, and if I'm missing anything, feel free to correct my gaps. Ariana is the girl that was cheated on. Since this news broke, she has been given a position on Dancing with the Stars. She got the role of Roxy in the Chicago musical, like a really top role in America. Brand deal, all of the. She's just become a multi-millionaire from the
scandal.
Yeah. People supporting her. Yes, queen, let's go. This whole episode, this whole season so far, and I think it's around 6 or 7 months after it all came out. She's also got a new partner, like loving life.
Yeah.
Well, she won't move out of the house. that she shares with him. She's like, it's been too long. She's even in a new relationship, and you kind of like, she
Just
always,
start afresh.
yeah. The other thing is, she was like, to all my friends, if you even want to speak to him, if you consider him a good person, I want nothing to do with you. Yeah, Kat just said, even though he was friends with these people a lot longer before. And I understand in the moment when someone does something that horrible, like I was saying, most hated man in America, he wasn't going to have another friend for a long time. But there gets to a certain point, right, where
Everyone
anger,
makes mistakes.
yeah, anger doesn't serve you. Like, it just isn't good for anyone. And I'm at the point, I'm shouting at my TV screen because anytime he, like, sniffles, goes to utter something, she just tears him down. They're in a group setting, and more and more, the more they're around each other, she just lays in. Yeah, but you did this. You can't get further. Like, he can't get anything out his mouth. And he'll then, like, go off like a sad puppy, like he didn't get anywhere. And she's making me feel sorry for I'm getting mad because I'm like, Ariana, Cat's nodding. And I
Yeah,
just,
he was in the wrong.
She took him away from Chris Percy.
yeah, Cat highlighted a very important thing. She got him how she lost him.
Well, he's
9
the
years
dog
before.
there, though, isn't he? Clearly, whenever he gets fed up, he just overlaps. He doesn't end.
Exactly. Was loads, yeah, it comes out, like she's not being as affectionate. She's a little bit of a tramp when it comes to leaving like food around. Loads of stuff's kind of happening, but it's just stuff. It's in a relationship that you're like, I generally don't need to hear about this. It's your
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah.
We're just in
So
it for the gossip
is the
now.
mum to not talk to him?
Yeah, where do you stand on that? Can you?
Well, ironically, I've not long gone through a breakup, and I had a friend say to me, "Can I hurry up and block him?" And I said, "No, don't do that. Like, don't just because I've broke up with him, you haven't got to. You haven't got to
Yeah.
do anything."
Would that make it different if he publicly cheated on you for the whole of TV?
The thing is that, for example, I've had an ex that was cheating on me. He wasn't publicly on TV, but our whole village knew about it. It was very
Okay.
where I couldn't go out without having a panic attack because I was like, everybody knew about this and nobody
Oh.
told me. Until after, and then everyone was like, "Oh, by the yeah, I did see him kissing her in the." Don't tell me now. If you were gonna tell me when I could have done something about it. Don't wait till I've dumped him for other reasons, and then all start telling me you knew. But so
Oh God.
yeah, but even with that though, I was not bothered if people wanted to stay friends with him. It was up to, if anything, it makes me more awkward when someone falls out with someone because they feel like they're being loyal to me. Because I'm like, yo, my own feelings will simmer and I will forgive them because that's me. Then you're going to have fell out of them. Well, what are you going to do then?
I'm exactly the same. And in the moment as it's happening, as you ruining my life, I'll say the worst things ever to you. After a little while, I have to get rid of that anger. Everyone needs to get rid of that anger because it doesn't serve you. It makes you ill. Like, all he has to do is like go to seem like he's about to say something, and she's like foaming at the mouth, steam coming out of her ears, and it's like, girl, you're not well doing this.
No,
It's been a while.
the thing is, when it comes to anger, and this is a red flag in relationships. If you get with somebody and they're so angry about their ex, they may as well be in love with them still. They've
Yeah,
got feelings for them.
unless that ex is like in prison or there's like solid evidence that they killed a family member or a dog or something like
But
that.
even hatred will only consume you. You have to find a way to let go of it. So it's not passionate hatred. Because I've had exes in the past where they're like, I hate her, I hate her. And I'm like, you may as well be in love with her then.
The amount she's taking up your brain
Yeah,
space
you've
and
got so
time.
much energy for that. Hate is as powerful as love. It's flip a coin. It's so close.
Indifference.
Yeah, that's what you want to aim for is indifference, where you just, you don't feel anything anymore.
Yeah.
But
Amen to that.
but yeah, so and the fact she won't move out, what? So she still lives in the same house as him?
Yeah. Apparently she has moved out now.
Newsflash, that you heard it here first.
DMZ. Yeah, so apparently that's happened. Good for her because that was a terrible Cat Sage don't like you. Ariana, you've lost Cat's support, I'm afraid.
Well, I
And
do
she loved you before she said.
think though, if you a relationship where you get with somebody before they're fully broken up with somebody else, you're always going to be on notice that they could do that to you, or that they're going to be on notice thinking you might do it to them.
Or paranoia could force the other one to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like she's just using it for a bit of a publicity thing as well. The fact that she's getting angry every time he speaks, it's all on the camera. It's a bit like,
It's hard because I think she's got this she's won like got all these things from it, doors have opened from it, but deep down she's still really hurt. So it's all right on the outside, I've got new partner, new life, new more money. But deep down, the thing that she was excited for, this life with this man that now isn't thing, she's not grieved it properly. She's still at anger stage.
yeah. And you are going to be angry at the start of a breakup, but then, like you say, you've got to go through that processing stage.
Yeah, because it will eat you alive. You'll be dying such an early death just because the utter thought of this person makes your blood pressure go up. And like, if you're in the same friendship group, to me, I cannot police who my friends are friends with. I can be like, that person's going to be there. Do you mind if I don't go? But I can also similarly be in a same place with someone and not let that impact my relationship. Yeah, and I think putting restrictions on your friends is just as scary as a man putting restrictions.
That's bad friendship. No, you shouldn't put on anybody.
Says no ultimatum.
Well, the trouble is, if you put an ultimatum on someone, you are putting yourself in a position where they may choose the other thing.
Yeah.
So, you're prepared to lose that person. That's what you've got to remember.
Are you prepared?
Those that are joining us on TikTok, we are live on YouTube, a different podcast official. If you join us over there, then we can
I want to know what this is saying.
chat. I think it's saying,
keep saying tiny. Will someone explain on TikTok what a tiny is? Oh, the Rose Challenge. What are these things? TikTok's Avengers. They're gifts. Are you getting gifts right now?
I've had loads of stars on Facebook.
Ah, give me a whale. I know a whale.
But
That's a big one.
but yeah, those that are watching us on TikTok, come over to a different podcast official, because we have got the chat that we're monitoring on there, so we can talk to you on through that chat.
Don't tell them that. You get gifts through there. You can't do it on that one. It's free on that
Keep
one.
giving me gifts.
But yeah, I just thought that was an interesting topic because it's a social one, right? If you struggle with social situations and you're trying to navigate this, it's confusing.
I think, well, I'm just trying to put myself in the other position where I've had friends that have broken up with boyfriends and it's been quite messy, and I automatically do distance myself from those people, even if they were my friend, especially if they've hurt them or not treated them properly.
Yeah.
Like, not as in I'll go out of my way to fall out of them or make it awkward. Or
Sometimes you
but
naturally won't spend as much time with these people
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
I think there's a level of respect thing there as well, that if, say, like me and Kat are really good friends, I'm pointing because she's behind the screen in the studio with us. If I had a messy breakup with someone and then Kat started hanging out with them, it's a bit disrespectful, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, Kat is the blocker. She's like, goodbye.
That is an interesting, like, why would you form a relationship after?
Or even if even if there is an ongoing, if it's a breakup because of cheating, it's almost like your good friends are gonna back you a little bit. Surely that's what mates do. Like, if your mate insists that they still want to see that person, I think that's a bit of a red flag as well.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, you're meant to be my mate. Why would you want to be talking to my ex?
There's so much nuance to it. It's weird.
It
is really interesting.
But
I think.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I was about to say I could just talk about it for a long time.
Yeah.
You can go back on it, and I'd never fully make my mind up.
But I think the thing is, though, that's how you find your own friendships. You form friendships with people that have got the same set of rules as you, or a similar set of rules. Like, if I was friends with somebody and they thought certain things were okay and I didn't, that friendship just would fizzle out. And that's the point, isn't it? You end up with your tribe of people that have got similar morals and similar.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because I always want to make sure that I've got people that equally challenge me. If I say something that doesn't make any sense, I want the person that knows more to be like, "Hey, That doesn't, and I think a good friend will be like, you've got that wrong, and put it in a nice way. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
This is how it is. So how do you differentiate like the difference?
Well, again, though, I think it's come down to being able to communicate, doesn't it? So, say if, for example, bringing Kat back into it, I fell out with my boyfriend because he's cheated on me. Kat continues having a friendship with him, and I'm not happy with that. And I take that to her, and she says, "Well, actually, no, you're making that really awkward. I think that's really out of order because I want to continue being friends." Then you can then move forward through communicating. You decide whether it's too much to take or what.
Yeah.
So I think it just comes down to that being able to talk without getting angry at each other.
Definitely. Get over the anger, communicate so that everyone knows where everyone stands. And
Don't anybody can read your mind. I think we've spoke about it before in the past to do with relationships. Just because you think it's obvious, it's probably not obvious to the
Yeah.
other person. So
how many times have you said something or asked something and the other person's been like, is that not obvious? And you're like, why would I ask you?
just it's not obvious.
No, I just wanted to look really silly in this moment right here.
So I think, yeah, it's down to cool, calm, collected communication.
Like a fox's glacier mint.
Mint.
So yeah, interesting. Sound off below. Let us know in the comments. Have you had a situation like this yourself? Has something happened? Is there something you can tell us that will make you go, look, I know how to make you decide whether this is a real bad thing or not. And also, if anyone can get through to Ariana to just like chill, enjoy her life.
Tell a cat that I can-
Sorry, you've lost a fan in Cat. And I think I don't want to say quite a lot of people, that's very rude. But I'm seeing it a lot. People have had enough. Lala is the best. Shout out Lala. But anyway,
No.
can I show you a picture of Lala? She might be one of the prettiest faces I've ever seen. Show you guys as well, in case you don't know who Lala. I love how I put that in Lala. I forgot. She's got the best chin. I just think she's stunning.
Chin.
She's got the best chin.
Don't even recognise her.
Batman.
So she's pregnant with a sperm donor.
Well, she's not doing it. Sperms come from somewhere. I
the,
know.
the last man that she trusted with that made her feel real damn silly.
Do you know what? I think that's a far healthier way to go about it than to either trap somebody and again not communicate.
Yeah.
Because like the amount of my male friends over the years that have gone, oh, it was an accidental pregnancy. I'm like, wasn't. Not by her, it wasn't.
No, by
You
her,
know,
it
like,
wasn't.
you might. He doesn't.
It's funny, going off topic. Fresh from Fresh and Fit. If you've been here before and you've heard me moan about the manosphere, then you'll know that I hate these two. They represent the worst part of men's society. Full supporters of Andrew Tate, real good mates with Andrew Tate. This both consciously, if you've heard of the term red pill.
Oh, no, men smart, women dumb.
Exactly, that's all it is. We get women on, we debate their body count, we make them feel stupid because we're idiots. Shout out any manosphere in the chat. But they constantly go on about men need fathers, but women need to be women, men should be men, abortion's illegal, proper right wing BS. No, not at all.
Okay.
This is really funny. So your boy here got his secret girlfriend pregnant. Not supposed to have a girlfriend because that's just kind of ruins your image, doesn't it? Of being a player. Hate them. But his boo she's fell pregnant.
Oh God! What? And now, like, well, she's got to keep it if you don't believe in abortion.
Yeah, but there is multiple messages and voice chats of him saying get rid of it, which goes against everything he's saying. Which, let's be honest,
Clearly is full of crap.
I have been saying from day one, all these right-wing grifters do not believe any of the stuff that they're selling to you.
Yeah, they're saying it just for the controversy like that it causes.
The likes, the clicks, the views, the clouts. I'm done with it.
A song lyric by Ren, it says it doesn't matter if it hates you if they all say your name. Like, and it's like that is somebody's business plan, isn't it? Where it's like, as long as I've got everybody talking about me, it doesn't matter what I'm actually saying.
Exactly.
Except for me, I don't love it.
We try not to.
Yeah.
Okay. Final story, just because it's an interesting one. JoJo. So just a
JoJo
little
Rose.
before. This is JoJo. What she was like. She was a lot younger when she first came on our screens. To be fair, she was teeny tiny, but we remember her as her. She got off of the Dance Mom scene.
Is that how she came through?
Yes. So she was taught choreographed by
And is
Abby Lee
that
Miller.
her?
This is her now.
Oh,
It's I've been interested in your yeah, because the internet is divided. We've got low level WWE villain to
that's
like kiss.
it's very cosplay kind of like, you know,
Right.
having a bit of fun. Yeah, eight is like Boy George kind of.
Problem is when she talks about this, it's as if she talks very much about shedding her childlike vibes and becoming more of an adult.
She's not adult. That's teenage trying on identity.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
When you were younger, your idea of what older meant, and then
Yeah.
you'd like try and execute it, and you're like, wait, this doesn't work. This looks like you ordered a Wish fancy dress.
We dressed as Kiss.
That's Kiss. If you needed any, Gene Simmons himself has defended her. He's all for it. So if you're worried on their behalf, he's completely cool with it.
I think it's very cool, and I feel like I'm just seeing that as like a big teenage rebellion, trying things out. Like I remember my grandma and granddad taking us to the space center, me and my brother, and I think I was about 14, and I dyed the ends of my hair pink, which I had like dirty blonde hair, so you're expecting it to come out like this pink, and it doesn't get it that first time that you ever do it, and you're like, oh, it's not what you expect. Anyway, still look quite cool, and I did my makeup pure black and I stuck gems. I'd got these gems that you're meant to iron onto jeans, and I got like nail glue or whatever, and I stuck them along this part of my eyebrow going out. And I just thought I looked so bloody cool. But it was the first kind of time I was really experimenting, and I knew it would shock my grandma. But kind of like, that's what I was trying to do, and that's the vibe I get from this. That I want to rebel. Look at me, nobody can stop me. I'm gonna do what I want, type thing.
Do you know what? When I think about me, it was always done in a way to be like, see? And it was never fully me. I was just trying to be someone else. Yeah, exactly. Thinking like, oh, if I just look like this or made this, then... And especially like with the alternative community, I think we rest on this like the emo, the goth back then. It's a little bit more
it's
crossover now. Yeah, but I feel like we fit into these alternative ways, and you'd be like, I want to wear this kind of stuff. Then you go to school and try and rock it there, and it just wasn't received very well.
Is she seeing how badly she can set off a trend? Because obviously the JoJo bows went wild, so now we're going to see people literally painting like on their faces.
People being like, it's the JoJo makeup.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
like,
Gene Simmons is like,
it's going to be a load of 14-year-old girls suddenly rocking out like this, which frankly, I would be more down for that than them looking like 30-year-old porn stars, which is what they do look like.
This is where I have another take on it. So she, just to clarify, because you don't know, net worth, and these things are never completely on correct. Do you see how much this woman is worth? 20 million.
Wow.
Roughly. Whether that's like on it or not, that's her estimation. How much did that outfit cost?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is lovely. I like the actual outfit itself, all them jewels and stuff. That's definitely quite expensive, isn't it? But I mean,
no, I disagree.
You could recreate the face thing with that.
All this looks so lazy. When you compare it to like, I don't know, a Britney Spears.
Yeah.
She's got like think of the money behind her. Think there's a management team here.
At least she's not creating something that teens can't then follow suit and afford to do. If she'd absolutely nailed it and it was all perfect, and you've got all these young girls thinking, oh, I want to look like that, but I can't.
Yeah.
They're not going to be doing that, are they? They've just got to get some gems, get some liquid black eyeliner. Bob's your uncle.
Definitely. This is why I go back and forth, because it's a form of self expression.
How old is she? No way.
Say
20s.
something. Try and say it to the mic. Cause
So Kat's saying that she's in her early 20s, but I had it in my head then that she was like late teens or mid teens kind of thing. What? Oh no, that's not her. 33. I was gonna say she's nearly my age. That is a bit. Oh, 20.
20.
It's a bit late to be going through that rebellion kind of
Do you know what I
style
know?
age.
She had ADHD.
Yeah, so she's been in the limelight since she was 7. So I suppose she's probably been controlled for quite a while, and this is the first time that she's really getting to express herself. Like, I'm worth 20 million. You can't control me.
She is no. This
Um,
I'm gonna scream. I've not been able to say something for
Oh,
ages.
no.
But one of
realise.
them is from people someone can't be heard on the mic, and it's like
Hmm.
making me worried. I forgot what I was gonna say now. I've already had my outburst.
I was over here, so I had no idea that.
Oh, it's all right. Oh, first time you said something about it's probably her first time to self-express. Like
Yeah.
that's all she's done. That's her whole career. Like reinventing. Like
Oh, okay. Yeah,
she's
but it's
from
someone
the
else.
huh?
It's someone else reinventing together.
This is what I mean.
Yeah.
And they made the really good decisions with the bows. She got most of that money from bows and all the
Yeah,
brand
I
deals and
remember.
stuff. But at the same time, everyone back then was like, "That's cringe," but little girls loved it. So I'm probably approaching this in exactly the same way. It just baffles me. It more than anything. I think it highlights this idea of when you're young, thinking what adult means and it being nothing like it. And it's hard to perceive what that is because being an adult and looking like an adult
Yeah.
two very different things. And sometimes I don't feel like an adult at all.
No,
But
I don't think you ever really feel like. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's an ADHD thing. I've never felt like an adult. I've always felt like.
ain't it?
I sometimes say to my students at school, look, if you play this right, being an adult is amazing because no one's telling you what to do. You're not being supervised anymore.
Yeah.
And you can just get in your car and go wherever you want. You can eat at whatever time you want. You can have a shower at 3 a.m. That that you make the rules, but you've got to play it right because if you don't kind of get yourself a job and earn your own money to do these things, then you will be forever trapped because you're relying on somebody else to put you up. You're relying on someone else to give you the money and to pay your bills and stuff. So it's like that fine line.
Yeah.
And
it's real hard.
I say to young girls as well, like, if you tie yourself up with kids real young, then you're not going to be able to have that freedom.
Yeah, it depends again what your situation is. I think to blanket
Yeah,
that
no,
completely.
I mean, my students. Like,
These students particularly,
Yeah.
only, not only, but especially as the ones that we care about. You have it.
live your life.
Definitely. And that's yeah, I just on top of it, she's having fun, she's expressing herself. And even if it is cringe, I was cringe when I was younger. Took me ages. I'm still cringe. It's what we stand for, right?
I think, yeah, we totally do. And I think there's probably a publicity scandal in there somewhere as well. They know that it's going to get tongues wagging. It's going to get the clicks again, isn't it? Because it's like a kind of a shocking transformation.
I think they know to do anything right now, you need people to be talking about it one way or another. And it's probably a lot easier to get people to moan or comment negatively than it is to actually get people to compliment.
It so totally is. I was autism is the new forte. Do you think autistic people don't grow up though? Well, that's what don't feel grown up.
I had to tick a new box in this that we're not giving misinformation.
Yeah.
People with autism.
But in the community of people that I've spoken to, it's almost like the young at heart ones are the neurodivergent ones.
We are very useful.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Like playful. Maybe it's because we're less likely to conform to those societal expectations. So the people that they want to be playful and young still, but they're too afraid. I don't know.
Yeah. Pat Gever, too. She's agreeing. It's I think that part of us that made us not be afraid to be alternative, wear what you want, is that bit that stops us being like, well, what does 40 mean anyway? Who represents that age? Hugging trees, cats.
Yeah.
Keeps good for the soul.
Well,
And knitting.
I was tagged in something. This lady saying that she's just got to 40. She had a bit of a midlife crisis, panicking like, oh my God, I wish I'd got this attitude when I was younger, and I wish I didn't, you know, care the way that I cared about what everyone else thought and all the rest of it. But then she thought of it like, if I'm lucky, I've got this whole lifetime yet again with this new attitude.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, that's totally how you should, 20s was made for kind of making the errors. And as you start to hit your 30s, you start to kind of find yourself a little bit. And as you approach 40, you really feel like yourself. And it's easy to think, oh, I've messed it up because I'm old now and I've only just got the hang of it. But we're not old.
You've only just made sense of it properly. Let's go.
Exactly now.
That's what I mean, like trying to be like, I'm going to dress like this. Now I'm an adult now. That's that experience that you think what it looks like, but it does not feel. It's weird. I don't know how
It's one of them that you get older and then you realize how many adults were lying to you and pretending that they understood it. And it's like, it's bad, kids. It's bad. Like,
I'm
none
your
of us know
parent.
what we're doing.
And I told you so.
Everyone's just pretending.
Instagram who is 6 there but looks amazing and she dresses and I always
What's her name?
what am I supposed to wear a certain thing? Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what her name is? Kat's talking to us about someone that she follows on. I'm just typing Cat. Someone she follows online that is 40. Did you say 60?
Yeah.
And looks about 40.
Yeah, I know she's called either, but I think there is a big movement at the minute of women that are over 40, 50, 60 that are saying we so easily just kind of blend in because men aren't looking at us anymore. So our worth or what we were taught was our worth. Suddenly we're invisible.
Yeah.
And I refuse to be invisible. I'm going to make sure I look good still. I'm going to wear what I want. And, and I think there's in fact, there is a bit of a movement and there's a lady that's in a bus and I need to find out a little bit more about it before I talk about it on here, but she's doing like a self-love initiative and she's in a bus. So I'm like,
That's cool.
yeah, it sounds very cool, but I've just not had a chance to look into it more yet.
Do you know another woman that I know that does, I only know her, which is horrible, as Zach Alsop's partner. I just know that she transforms, she transforms sprinter buses. What's her name? Astrid, Astrid, I want you in my life. Show you. Yourself. So this woman is rock. I'm trying to not get the glare. Oh yeah, she's what? 60.
Yeah, her
She
fashion
looks
is
awesome.
absolutely wicked. Yeah.
Just the fact she knows how to make a TikTok is like, wow.
And it's the confidence thing.
Vibrating. So yeah.
Well, that's been
I'll find her and I'll send it to you in another day.
That's
anyone
been a good
knows.
fun.
Okay, yeah.
I tell you to the video and comment so that those people that are watching can look out for Kat's comment of who this wonderful Instagrammer is. So if they are interested in checking her out, then they can.
Definitely.
So those that are watching on our YouTube, please remember to like this video. It really, really helps us, especially because I can see that we've had quite a lot of views. So if everybody liked the video, then that would just help the whole video go so much further. And make sure you are subscribed as well, please.
It makes us very happy, ladies.
It certainly does.
But that's this week's episode. I feel like it's the first one I've ended without being like, I need to quickly get all this in. Say what I need to say.
It's been nice to not. I felt really relaxed starting this because sometimes when we're doing a subject in my head, I'm like, I want to say this and I want to say that and I want to say the other. So it's felt really.
I know what you mean. It's like I've not said that point, and then like it will move on. I'm like, oh, I forgot to say that
Yeah,
part.
yeah. Sometimes it's later on that night that I'll remember, and I'm like, do I go into the comments and be like, oh, I completely forgot to cover this, and that was almost the whole point of me wanting to do the episode.
Actually, quite a few times I've got a message from you after, or
Yeah,
I've seen you
yeah.
put a comment underneath like, sorry, I've started this sentence or this story.
Yeah,
This
it's
is what
'cause
the...
it comes to me later on in the night. Like, I'd rather not remember. Why do you have to tell me?
So if you're ever watching this and you're like, they didn't finish that story, check the comments.
Yeah. Might be that I've done a follow up. Next week, are we going to cover stress?
Oh, be good.
Because it's Stress Awareness Month, which made us laugh, didn't it? Because it was like, we are aware of stress all the time. I know it's Autism Awareness Month as well, but we did autism last week.
Autism. Still stressed. We'll do that now.
Always autistic and we're always stressed.
Always stressed. We were laughing like, why do you need the awareness? The awareness of how much stress impacts your life. I don't think everyone is fully understanding the effect.
Yeah, what we'll aim to do is share ways to reduce stress.
And I'll be here tuning in, learning from.
Yeah, we'll talk about all the wonderful ways we've heard about, but no, to be fair, I feel like I do
Ooh.
implement quite a lot.
We need to think of them and film us trying these methods. By next week, we'll have whatever it is, whether
Well,
it's breathing or...
Yeah, they're going to send certain ones that I already do, and then if people want to bring us some to try, because it's the Community U Club as well a week this Friday, and that's what I've put down as the
Cool.
thing that we'll be covering is sharing our. We've got Cat knitting in the corner, which has that reduced your stress, Cat? Yeah,
Hell yeah.
another great show in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much, True Vibes Clothing.
Yeah, chat.
Anthony Hyde, evening late.
Hey Tony. Evening. If you're joining us a little bit late, we're about to go, unfortunately.
Busters.
Yeah, the instructor.
Shout out, Anthony. You did a good job. She's passed. Verify to continue. But thanks for coming, dude. I appreciate it. We get time to rewind now and watch us from the start. And like and subscribe in case you missed
Yeah,
any
so
of that
I was going to
information.
say, anybody that's on our video, please like and subscribe. I don't know what's
Liked
going
it.
on here. Well, even if you didn't like it, drag the puzzle piece into the place.
Basically, if we said
Okay.
put whatever you want down there, we welcome good, bad, random comments, and any ways that you deal with stress would actually be really useful. And anything that you want to comment on that we've talked about today. Basically, tell me what your day's like. Just pop off in the comment section, whatever it is. Put your favorite emoji.
And thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, guys. It's been a fun week. This is Lindsay.
And this is Steph.
We are a different human design.
And this is a different podcast. Good night.
Night.
Why is it like this? Instead of hate, it should be love, we invite it. You don't agree, then you're the problem that we're fighting. Open up your mind, stand up, become righteous. Why is it like this? Instead of hate, it should be love, we invite it. You don't agree, then